Historic Capitals of America series. This is a journey through the cities that governed a nation. Montgomery, Alabama. The capital at the Crossroads. On a high bluff above the Alabama River, Montgomery occupies a place where geography and history repeatedly meet. River routes, native paths, cotton roads, rail lines, streetcar tracks, highways, and airfields have all converged here. The city has served as a trading center, a state capital, the first capital of the Confederacy, a cradle of American aviation, and a decisive stage in the civil rights movement. Yet Montgomery is more than any one of those identities. Its full story stretches from ancient river communities to a modern center of government, education, military leadership, manufacturing, and memory. People lived in the upper Alabama River country for thousands of years before Montgomery existed. By the historic period, the region formed part of the Muscogee world, a confederacy of self-governing towns linked by kinship, diplomacy, trade, and rivers. The Alabama, Cosa, and Tallapoosa waterways supplied food, fertile soil, and transportation. Near their confluence stood important native communities, including the Alabama town of Akana and the broader Upper Creek heartland. The river was not an empty frontier waiting for settlement. It was the center of an established homeland with its own governments, farms, ceremonies, and routes of travel. European empires entered that world through trade and rivalry. In 1717, the French built Fort Toulouse near the confluence north of present-day Montgomery, beside Creek communities that negotiated with French and British traders. After the Creek War, the 1814 Treaty of Fort Jackson forced the cession of more than 23 million acres to the United States. American settlement then accelerated. Further cessions and the forced removal of Muscogee people followed. In 1836, thousands were marched through Montgomery and placed aboard vessels on the Alabama River for the journey west. The capital city's beginnings therefore belong to a larger story of native endurance, dispossession, and survival. American promoters established rival settlements along the river bluff in 1817 and 1818. Andrew Dexter backed New Philadelphia on the eastern side and reserved Goat Hill for a future seat of government. John Scott and other investors developed East Alabama Town nearby. Competition gave way to partnership. On December 3, 1819, the settlements incorporated together as Montgomery only 11 days before Alabama entered the Union. The name honored Richard Montgomery, a Revolutionary War general killed at Quebec in 1775. Ambitious from the start, the new town combined a river landing, a county seat, and a bold hope of becoming Alabama's political center. The Alabama River turned that hope into commerce. Steamboats began reaching Montgomery in the 1820s, carrying cotton toward Mobile and returning with passengers, machinery, mail, and manufactured goods. Warehouses and offices crowded the landing, while Market Street, later Dexter Avenue, climbed toward Goat Hill. Railroads eventually strengthened the connection to Georgia and distant markets. Together, river and rail made Montgomery a major regional distribution center and linked inland Alabama to the Gulf Coast and beyond. As Alabama's population shifted inland, lawmakers sought a more central capital. The state had governed from St. Stephen's, Huntsville, Cahaba, and Tuscaloosa before selecting Montgomery in 1846. The first capital on Goat Hill opened in 1847 and burned 2 years later. Its Greek Revival successor was completed in 1851 on the same foundations. African-American master carpenter Horace King executed much of its woodwork, likely including the remarkable spiral staircases. From the foot of Dexter Avenue, the White Dome became the city's defining landmark and fixed state government at the heart of Montgomery's economy and daily life. The capital soon took on national importance. In February 1861, delegates from seceding states met there to create the Confederate States of America. Jefferson Davis took the oath as its president on the West Portico before the Confederate capital moved to Richmond. Montgomery became a wartime administrative and supply center, connected by river and rail. Union cavalry under General James H. Wilson occupied the city in April 1865, and retreating Confederate forces burned stores of cotton. The war left Montgomery facing political upheaval, economic disruption, and a long period of rebuilding. During Reconstruction, Black citizens built churches, schools, businesses, mutual aid networks, and political organizations, while Black office holders briefly participated in city and state government. The institution, now known as Alabama State University, grew from Lincoln Normal School, founded in 1867 by 9 black community leaders in Marion, and moved to Montgomery in 1887. Rail expansion made the city a regional wholesale center. In 1886, Montgomery introduced the Lightning Route, widely recognized as the first citywide electric streetcar system in the Western Hemisphere. The trolley reshaped neighborhoods and announced a city eager to associate itself with modern technology. That inventive reputation rose into the sky in 1910. Seeking warmer weather for training, Wilbur and Orville Wright opened the nation's first civilian flying school on open land west of the city. The experiment lasted only about 10 weeks, but the site later became an Army aircraft repair depot and, in 1922, Maxwell Field. The Air Corps Tactical School arrived in the 1930s, making Montgomery a center for the study of air power. During World War II, Maxwell and nearby Gunner Field helped train tens of thousands. Air University, established at Maxwell in 1946, continues to educate military leaders from the United States and allied nations. 20th century Montgomery mixed government and military work with insurance, education, healthcare, retail, and culture. The city became closely associated with country musician Hank Williams, who lived and performed there and is buried at Oakwood Annex. F. Scott and Zelda Fitzgerald also spent time in Montgomery, where her family had deep roots. At the same time, Jim Crow laws restricted black voting, schooling, employment, housing, and movement. Strong institutions, including Alabama State University, churches, civic groups, and the black press sustained community life and developed leaders prepared to challenge the city's unequal system. That challenge transformed the nation. After 15-year-old Claudette Colvin and other women resisted bus segregation, Rosa Parks was arrested on December 1, 1955, for refusing to surrender her seat. Joanne Robinson helped spread the call for a boycott. E.D. Nixon built support. Attorney Fred Gray led the legal fight, and the Montgomery Improvement Association selected the young pastor Martin Luther King Jr. as president. For 381 days, black residents walked and organized carpools despite arrests, threats, and bombings. The federal case Browder v. Gale ended legal segregation on the buses, demonstrating the reach of disciplined local organization and nonviolent protest. A decade later, Montgomery became the destination of the Voting Rights March from Selma. After marchers were attacked at the Edmund Pettus Bridge, a federally protected procession left Selma on March 21, 1965, and traveled 54 miles along U.S. Highway 80. By March 25th, more than 25,000 people gathered before the Alabama State Capitol. The march helped build momentum for the Voting Rights Act, signed that August. Montgomery's most famous avenue now connected 2 opposing national memories: secession at the top of the hill and a democratic demand for equal citizenship below it. In recent decades, Montgomery has worked to bring its riverfront and downtown back into civic life. Riverfront Park, Riverwalk Stadium, restored buildings, new housing and entertainment venues have reconnected the city with the water that first sustained it. Museums and memorials interpret subjects once ignored or distorted, including the Rosa Parks Museum, the Freedom Rides Museum, the Civil Rights Memorial, the Legacy Museum, and the National Memorial for Peace and Justice. Old Alabama Town preserves 19th century buildings, while the Alabama Shakespeare Festival and Montgomery Museum of Fine Arts broaden the capital's cultural life. Montgomery today remains shaped by state government and Maxwell Gunter, while Hyundai and its suppliers have made automobile manufacturing a major regional force. Universities, hospitals, technology programs, military schools, and small businesses add new layers to an old crossroads. The capital still looks down Dexter Avenue toward Court Square and the Alabama River, but every block carries more than one story. Montgomery's importance lies in that range: native homeland, riverport, cotton market, capital, aviation classroom, music town, movement city, and modern workplace. Few American capitals reveal so clearly how a city can carry its past while continuing to remake its future.